Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I should have done this video earlier when it came out or when the news broke out, but I didn't really because I kind of just ignored it and I didn't really read the full article from VLR.gg. I just couldn't be bothered, but here we are. I'm now going to be talking about this with some knowledge on it. So a match fixing scandal has did happened earlier on June the 16th. My dogs are barking, I swear to God. And it involves mainly Germs and Dreamy CSGO and the Resurgence 2020 roster. Now, this was actually came to surface by Kalel, who's a competitive Valorant player based in Singapore. He made I think it is, yeah. They made a Google Doc, which is on Twitter. I will leave a link to it obviously in the description. It says exposing a parasite in the Valorant Singapore/Malaysia community. And this is the document right here. So it talks about how the tournament that they obviously had a match. Well, they uh, did a match fixing in the Valorant Ignition series while playing under the professional esports organization of Resurgence, which is this team over here. The tournament in question was the it was the EPOL's Royal Sea Cup, which is an Ignition series event for the Southeast Asian region, featuring a 25,000 prize pool. In the screenshot below, Germs is talking about putting over 2,000 Singapore dollars, which is the equivalent of 2,000 US dollars, in bets. This is the message right here, and I also have the bet on Gazo link. So you see here that one, and this is what the screenshot would have looked like. So in the very, very deep in the corner, I'm gonna have a look at it if it does. Yeah, so it did work. So you see here, so there's a esports Resurgence versus Blackbird Ingus, which is where we kind of really want to talk about here. Resurgence versus Blackbird Ingus. You see, I think those are I think those are the money right now. So 700, so 704, 763, 793, 721, and only $16. And all of these it was actually Blackbird Ingus winning it. So you could tell that he was probably going to throw for this one. We keep going here. This is the view of the betting website. It's like a better picture of it. So we start at the top where it says P2 small a XSG, which is his username on the betting website, and the screenshot of his Twitter and Instagram handle below. He has had similar usernames. The screenshot also clearly shows that he's bet a total of $3,000 for Blackbird Ingus to win 2-0 against their own team. The odds for it being a 2.26 up and a 2.42 multiplier. And if you calculate the total amount he placed in bets, he has won already $4,000 in profit. And this is the other screenshot. Who knows how much more he might have won in other games that are featured on the VLR or the Spike.gg and the better websites. So that was just what we showed you, and this is his Instagram, his Twitter as well. I continue having a conversation here from the screenshot above, essentially admitting that he's throwing the match, and by saying if he's even trying using different sensitivity, that his kid and his KD is 5 to 11. It talks about his manager as well. So in the screenshot above it says I was having a conversation after the match where he forwarded a message by his manager by saying that his manager doesn't expect a thing from his match. The date is also in this WhatsApp convo, 22nd September 2020, which is the day of the match Resurgence versus Blackbird Ingus. And then this provides So this proves that is indeed his WhatsApp profile. Obviously blocking out the phone number. I'll I'll probably blur that as well. Maybe I'll skip it, I don't know. So he is currently playing for Team 600. Um, and he's been actively taking part of the VCT Singapore Malaysia challenges. Some of the matches were featured in VLR.gg, and some of those matches were bettable as well. And obviously more matches would have been fixed. So Riot obviously did investigate this, and this is what they came up with. So just obviously at the very beginning, following an ongoing investigation into the Resurgence versus Blackbird Ingus match during the Valorant Ignition series on September 2020, Valorant Esports has ruled out that Malcolm Jermist Chung and Ryan Dreamy CS:GO Tan have violated Rule 7.2.1 and 7.2.4 of the Valorant Global Competition Policy for manipulating the outcome of a competitive Valorant match for a monetary gain. They will be banned from VCT for 36 months. The rest of the Resurgence roster will receive reduced penalties based on their level of culpability and their level of their cooperation with the investigation. So basically, I already talked about the context here, but you can have a read of it if you want to. As it says here in the third paragraph, the following match resulted in a 2-0 win for Blackbird Ingus. Germs attempted to pay off other individuals in the Resurgence roster. However, this was rejected by the players, and the roster was suspended the following months. Maintaining the competitive integrity of our tournament is our top priority, and we take such matters extremely seriously. All players are expected to abide by the rules of fair play, agreed upon prior to participation in the tournaments. Violation of the rules of fair play will not be tolerated by Valorant Esports. And this is obviously the ruling that happened. Germs and Jamie CSGO have violated Rule 7.2.1 and 7.2.4 of the Valorant Global Competition Policy and we banned from the VC for 36 months. The ban is considered to have begun with the original suspension date on 22nd of April 2021. They will be eligible to return to Valorant in April 2024. So this ban has basically been on them since April, 22nd of April. It's already June, and their ban is going to be It will be lifted on 2024 in April. Most likely the 22nd of April 2024, but that's a pretty big margin. The rest of the Resurgence roster will will also receive penalties, but in the match, despite being aware of the situation, failing to inform tournament officials and Valorant Esports. So these penalties were reduced for individuals based on their level of culpability and their cooperation with the Valorant Esports investigation. Penalties for roster members at the time are as follows. So we got Boblek and Jab the Boy, who'll be banned for a year, and Mordecai and Banef will be banned for 6 months. These penalties are also considered to have begun with the original suspension, which was the 22nd of April. Mordecai and Banef will be eligible on October 2021, while Boplek and Jab the Boy will be eligible in April 2022. And this is the rules that they basically broke. 7.2.1, which is match fixing. No team member may offer, agree, or conspire to fix a match or take another action to intentionally and unfairly alter or attempt to alter the results of any game or any player or component thereof. If a team member is asked to fix the outcome of the game or to otherwise take part in any action prohibited by this global policy or the applicable event-specific rules, that a team member must immediately report this request to the tournament operator. And 7.2.4, which is under gambling, Gambling on the outcome of a tournament, match, or game in any esport competition, including any plays or components of a game, can pose a serious threat to the integrity of and public confidence in esports competitions. Team members are not allowed to place or attempt to place bets on any esports competition or any plays or components thereof, or B, associate with high volume gamblers or deliver information to others that might influence their bets. So that is basically what Riot has concluded, well, did concluded. I was on June 16th. I should have done this before. I'm still pissed off that I didn't, but that's alright. So I was the resurgence. I feel like they were like a B tier team anyway, so they weren't really that big of a deal. But it is still match fixing, and match fixing is a global problem in every single esport series. Obviously CS:GO, Overwatch, uh, even like Rainbow Six as well. Other games, like most games, do have a match fixing scandal, or has had a match fixing scandal at some point in their game lifetime. But obviously, this is their first time, and they only had 1 year of, I guess, um, just being an esport, which is actually quite impressive, I'll be honest. So, the first ever match fixing scandal for Valorant is done, and obviously, at least severe punishment for both Germs G and Dreamy CS:GO. Yeah. So, that's really it for me now. I'm sorry that I didn't record this video like when it happened. I was a bit confused and I couldn't be bothered really to read it all. But um, yeah, I will leave a link to the school esports who actually do a pretty good job on explaining it. And yeah, so that's it for me now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Catch you guys all next time in the next one. Goodbye.